$1 of animatronics for the waste of money. Alright, I guess this is pretty much everybody. You guys brought in that whole sunny South Florida crap?
No.
You know it's like this every day, right?
No.
All those commercials are filmed in California.
Oh, yeah, that's
Too late to hear. Alright, how was the airboat ride? This will be a disappointment for you, if it hasn't been already. Any alligators today?
Yeah!
I hate those things. I hate those things. They give you the cruise. It's just jokes. It's just jokes. Love alligators. You guys are cool. Alright, before we get the alligator, which he takes to a processing plant where they will kill it, anything gets paid for the valuable meat and time. That's where you get alligator boots, belts, handbags, wallets, all that kind of stuff. The state of Florida kills about 8,000 nuisance alligators every single year, and usually just because they swam through someone's backyard canal. The state of Florida is also pretty smart. They save a tremendous amount of money, but more importantly for them, they save liability by not hiring and paying a trapper. Just let them keep and harvest the animal. That way, every time a trapper's arm gets ripped off, there's no workman's compensation to worry about, no disability. They just scratch some poor redneck's name off a list and they get a new trapper. Now, the lucky ones, alligators that is, I will buy off those trappers, or I trap myself. I am a licensed trapper here in the state of Florida, and yes, that was mother's dreams for me. The day that I was born in Massachusetts. It very much was not. I'm one of the very few, in fact, probably the only committed non-kill trapper in the whole state. I know there's not too many non-kill trappers in the state because, quite frankly, not many people are dumb enough to work 30 to 60 hours a week for free. Especially trying to save an animal that would love to end your life first time that you meet. Now, when I get a gator, they will generally come here overnight. They then get relocated to wildlife sanctuary down in Homestead. They can never truly go back to the wild. Any nuisance alligator that exceeds 4 feet in length, according to Florida state law, must be kept in captivity or be destroyed. Only 2 options. The state tried to relocate these guys in the wild years ago, way back when they were endangered. Back then, if a gator ate your dog, they put them 50 miles out in the Everglades. 2 months later, your new puppy would vanish. That same gator found his way home. So they would relocate him a second time to an even more remote location. 4 or 5 months later, you turn around somehow, some way, he's back in the house and won't leave. My sister had a boyfriend like that once. No, trust me, him I got rid of. Thanks, guys. Yeah, go ahead, laugh. Make it seem like that didn't really happen. You guys are adorable. Now, what we do in this bit is alligator wrestling, kind of, sort of. There's 3 guys, 1 girl, that actually volunteer their time here to do these shows. We're not paid or employed by the park. That is due to liability again, same as a trapper. Apparently, all lawyers think alligators are absolutely ferocious. Therefore, the only money we do take in, believe it or not, does go solely to the donation basket you see down the end. On the 2 days a week that I'm here, the money goes to the alligators. And not directly, because I tried that, and they blow it all on gambling and booze. Now, that's why half you are in Florida right now. Now we kind of have this fiduciary relationship where I use it to help pay for their food, vet bills, buy indicators from the other trappers, enclosures for sick and injured animals, equipment to get these guys. That and my nearly extinct savings is what essentially funds the whole rescue. I have these knuckleheads and almost another 1,000 mouths to feed down in Homestead. Now the alligator wrestling itself, that is not like wrestling on television. Yes, I actually have to say that. Some people really think there's going to be like headlocks and body slams. Young boys in particular get really disappointed. They think I'm going to run around with a folding chair, smashing alligators in the head. It is not that kind of wrestling. If you came to see the old man versus the beast thing, you in the wrong place. These guys are part of my family in here. I'm not going to kick or punch or hurt the alligator anyway. I'm not going to run around poking, jabbing at him with a stick like some Everbilly. And they are not going to attack me, sorry. All alligator wrestling really is the old Seminole Indian capture techniques mimicked in a pit like this with a few stunts thrown in. Now, for those of you that may be familiar with a television show I have on Animal Planet called Gator Boys, or in one of the crocodile documentaries I filmed over the years, you may notice a different reaction between the gators and crocs you may have seen me catch on television and the gators you see in this pit. If I get this close to a wild alligator or crocodile, he's going to do one of two things. I guarantee you, neither of which is this. He's going to either make some huge explosive move to attack me, but that would be out of self-defense. That would have been him thinking, I'm the threat, I'm the predator. But more than likely, for that same reason, they would make an equally explosive move but only to escape. Either way, there'll be some massive explosion of energy. Massive explosion of energy. There it is. Wow. All right, these guys don't do a whole lot of that stuff. They don't do that because almost, I do have like 4 new ones in here. Almost every gator in this pit has been here long enough to realize that I am not going to hurt them. Once that kind of settles in, there is no real motivation to make these huge explosive movements they're so famous for. Every time you see a wild alligator or a crocodile, for that matter, making those explosive movements, that is absolutely exhausting for the animal. These guys are ectothermic or cold-blooded, so they really only have a handful of those moves in them before the bodies begin to build up with lactic acid, and eventually they can barely move. So if these guys all know that worst possible outcome that could ever happen is me sitting on their back over here for like 10 minutes, telling some really bad jokes, it's not worth fighting me all out for the next 15 minutes and then being totally exhausted for the next hour or 2 while that lactic acid slowly metabolizes. It's just not worth the trade-off. If there's one thing they're good at, besides ruining my life, it's conserving energy. You look at a good-sized gator like Fahrenheit, Godzilla, Debo, Darth Gator, these guys can easily go 4 or 5 months with no food at all. This is what they do for a living, and they're really, really good at it. That doesn't mean they love me, and we're friends, and we take windy walks together at night. Trust me, Fahrenheit doesn't love me. Not like she used to. You know, I still remember a time when you and I would we used to sit, we would talk for hours. See, and now I feel like we don't even communicate. Look, even now, I'm trying to reach out and you withdraw. Listen, I can't fix this if I don't know what's broken. Please say something. I'll give up on you. You know what the really sad part is? The sad part is I have these conversations with Fahrenheit when nobody else is eating. And again, they don't like me. They obviously don't really dislike me. It's actually a lot like my parents' house around Christmas. Everybody kind of tolerates me because they feel obligated. Now, I do have a certain rotation system I use to try to make sure each gator only does 1 show throughout the day. So I am looking for a specific alligator named Muttley, who is in the corner near the new one, of course. What's up, Sebastian? What's up, Muttley? Let's go. One side, children, one side.
Hold on.
I only want to be bringing Debo with me. Now listen, I'm going to be honest, okay? This gator's been dead for 2 weeks. Hey, until he starts to stink, I'm going to keep using him. Playing dead is Muttley's best trick. Come on, go to your spot. Go to your spot. Straighten out, kid. $2 million of animatronics again. It's as fast as it goes. This one goes here. There you go. Come on. You gotta do 1 show. You gotta do them all. Straighten it out, punk. Straighten it out. I'm good. This is one of the old Full Star models. Don't pull it to the right. You risk losing your fingers in the process. So the Seminoles came up with a technique they now refer to as bulldogging, holding the jaws closed with your chin and your chest. You would free your hands up, give you time to take out leather or rope and tie it up. If you want to take a picture, both arms go out to the side, or you see the blood pouring down my throat. It's usually where I tell the kids to just stay in school. What are you doing? Hey, you work 9 minutes a day. Okay, take your pictures quickly, please. Take out a rope, couple of wraps, you tie a knot, and you have yourself a car, an alligator. Now, judging by the complete lack of applause, I'm assuming you people are not really impressed with me, the alligator, right now. That's great. If you guys are looking for me after the show, I will be checking into therapy. Try to repeat myself in a minute or two. In the meantime, we're going to touch on a few different parts of the alligator's anatomy. The eyes, what are you doing, son? The eyes of an alligator are very well protected. He has very deep eye sockets. Anything threatens the eyes, they just drop to the bottom of the eye sockets out of the way of harm. Thick, leathery eyelids come down and help protect them. He has lower eyelids like you and I have, and he also has that third eyelid called a nictitating membrane. That little transparent lens you may have just seen move from front to back, and now back to front. It acts to clean dust and debris away from the eyes. It also, back to front, back to front. It acts to clean dust and debris away from the eyes. It also kind of acts as a pair of goggles for the alligator in the water. Behind the eyes, alligator's ears, these little flaps right here. Even with these small ears, they still hear better than you and I on land. They also hear very well under the water. And if he does this fast enough, he can actually fly. Not with me on his back, of course. That would be crazy. But if that worked, I promise you I would fly everywhere. Between the ears, behind the eyes, located right about there, alligator's brain. Alligator's brain is about the size of my thumb. They say there's only one animal in the entire world that has a smaller brain to body size ratio, and that, of course, is the alligator wrestler. I still don't get that, John. The bony plates you see over the back, they're called scutes. They are solid bone osteoderms. They do two things for the alligator. Number one, this is armor. This is armor plating. It protects them from predators and other alligators during the territorial and mating disputes. They also act like little solar panels. When it's cold, these guys lay out in the sun with this dark black skin. The sun beats down, heats up that skin. Each one of those scutes is covered with little blood vessels. So the blood will heat up, circulate through the body, increasing the energy and metabolism. And you'll notice I said the skin was black and not green. Listen, if you tried to bite me, this might look exciting. This is like I'm trying to keep the dog in a bathtub. Like I said, they're not green, they're black. Almost every t-shirt, cartoon, painting, stuffed animal, rubber toy, high school, college mascot you've seen of an alligator, almost always green. That's not green, that's black. Now, what separates alligator wrestling from alligator capturing, of course, dangerous stunts, doing a couple of foolish things, like we'll do right now. First is called the Florida Smile, which is simply opening the alligator's mouth if he lets me. Get over your mouth, sweetheart. I don't know why that works, but it does. He's got 40 teeth on top, and 40, that's because you got sand in your mouth. You just stuffed your face in the sand. So get over here, you nut. You're a jerk. You're an idiot, you know that? What's that? At least you don't talk to alligators? Shut up. I'll do the jokes. Again, 40 teeth on top, 40 teeth on the bottom. If you look at the back of his throat, it appears he has little to no throat opening. He has an oversized palatal valve or a glottis, which allows him to go underwater and capture food without drowning. You would usually then surface above the water to swallow that food. He likes to make it look dangerous sometimes. He's a bit of a showman. You do realize without me you'd be a suitcase, right? By the way, we are 0 for 2 on applause right now. This does not represent our yes. Hey, I know that must be jelly. Jam don't shake like that. It's amazing how fast they move, isn't it? Wow. Now you can realize why you have to run zigzag. Yeah, otherwise they would never catch you. They started the whole thing. You ever heard of that? Chase by an alligator run zigzag. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. And it's not your fault if you've been telling your family and friends that, because they've been pushing that on students and tourists down here for like 50 years. Don't run zigzag, just run. Listen, if you're going to do anything, you trip the kids and you walk away with dignity. Hey, not the kids you're teaching, you sicko. I mean, listen, if it comes down to it, they're smaller and faster than we are. They got a much better chance, especially on vacation. These kids are so hopped up on Mountain Dew and Skittles right now, a gator has no chance. That kid will be doing that reverse matrix flip where she's going upside down. The gator's like, oh crap, she's on Skittles. Ain't nobody got time for that. How do you think you get paid for his show? Were you his manager? They go to the gate. Go to the gate. I'll meet you over there. Go that way, double way. That's not real bright. Jigsaw's really smart. Darth Gator is really smart. Probably's in the middle somewhere. All right, guys. With that, that is the end of the show. Again, any of the basket down there goes to help save more of these beautiful alligators just like nothing. Always good things like that. Also, if you want to grab one of the contact cards, check out my YouTube channel or the social media as well. The YouTube is just Gator Boys Outdoors. It's large. You can go check it out. Subscribe to the channel because we about broke. Thanks for coming out, guys, and God bless. If you have any questions at all, feel free to Google it. That's a comedy, girl. That's joking the whole show. Feel free to use that yourself.
So we just finished the Everglades tour. Saw a little show over there. That was really funny. Fortunately, in the Everglades, we only got to see one alligator for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It's a cold day, so they're cold-blooded creatures. They stay underwater. Now we're making up for that by getting some alligator tacos. These tacos are actually really good. Only $11. Check it out. Look at that fried alligator right there. I tried crocodile in Thailand, but now I'm trying alligator in Florida, Miami. Delicious. I can literally see my bus from here. It looks like everybody's leaving. I don't care. Take my sweet time. And now the sun's coming out. It's 1 p.m. We're heading back to Miami Beach. I got my swim trunks, got my sandals. I think we're having a beach day right now. I'm not drinking today. I've been drinking. I drank yesterday. I drank the day before. Got completely wasted. So you know what? We're taking it easy today.